My favorite project has been this hat right here because I'm in a Chinese course. I take the Chinese language. And so the professor gives each of us a name. We're a small class, so she gives us each a name. And I wanted to put it on a hat. So I have my Chinese name on a hat. And this took me forever to make. And I made the pattern myself, of course, because you can't find a pattern with my Chinese name on it. So I came up with the pattern myself, and I went for it, and yeah, and I'm really proud of it. It came out really nicely.
Whoa, what has been my favorite project? That is a tough question. Well, my favorite project probably was the scarf I made for my mom last Christmas, because while I was making it, it was for her. And at the time, we'd kind of been arguing and disagreeing a little bit. So I felt bad about being angry and snippy with her. So I tried to direct all of my love and apologies into knitting the scarf. And I watched 3 seasons of How I Met Your Mother on my computer while I was knitting it. So I binged on that. And I remember I was like, I gotta get this scarf done before. And it's the 24th, well, technically the 25th at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I'm finishing the scarf, I have to finish it before Christmas. So, I mean, it's kind of a weird one. It wasn't super difficult or anything, but I just knew that she'd really love the colors, and it was kind of like a peace offering after we'd been fighting a little bit. So there's a little bit of sentiment behind that one, I guess.
This is probably my current favorite project. This is the first full sweater I have knit for myself. It took me about 9 months, I think, total. Now, I didn't knit it continuously, but I think it's my favorite thing right now.
Ooh, that's hard. Either my first pair of socks or, if you know Rent, my sister really wanted a sweater like Mark's, and they didn't really sell them, so I was like, fine, I will make you one. And I did. And it looks terrible, but she really likes it, and I'm kind of proud of it.
Ooh, that's a tough one. My favorite project that I've worked on would probably be the first time I started to cable knit. Because I don't really knit using patterns. I try to figure it out as I go along. So when I figured out kind of how to cable knit, the first one, it didn't come out well, but I learned how I need to work the yarn so that it comes out looking decent or good. Yeah, so some cable knitting there, some on here, but you can't really tell because it's dark, but yeah.
So this shawl has a special story. The very first knitting retreat I went to, I met a group of people. All of them were at that knitting retreat for the first time too. And I had never met any of those people in person before. I went to the knitting retreat I found it through Ravelry and signed up and went because it was in St. Louis and I was living in Champaign, Illinois, which was only 3 hours away. So I went to this retreat and I met all these people. And then 2 retreats later, we all also went to the retreat. And we all decided to knit Color Affection. This is the pattern, Color Affection. So a whole bunch of us did kind of a knit along for Color Affection.
I did it for the Christmas season. And this took me at least 8 hours to do because scarves are incredibly redundant. You just going back and forth over and over again. And I made this double the thickness that you see because at the end there's a tube. So it was essentially cut here and twice the thickness of this, and I realized how absurdly thick it was, so I ended up sewing the 2 ends together and making it a tube. So now when it's cold in the winter, I can put it around my neck and keep my arms in.